Alright. Alright. So, today's adventure. Well, we'll see. We'll see what kind of adventure Hans takes us for. I'll admit, just judging by the titles of the DLCs, this is the one that I had the least hopes for. But maybe it will surprise me. Who knows? Okay, there we go, there we go. Everything is where it should be. Alright. Okay, we're clean. Everything is ready. Ah, there he is, the dirtbag. I'm clean, so... that I can share in this man's depravity. Maybe it'll be a pleasant surprise. I'm just expecting more drinking and... just... man... it's fine. It's fine. I see you learned levitation for a second. Very impressive.
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
I'm... there we go. Hey.
The Lord be praised. Is there anything I can help you with, Sir Hans? Ah, Henry, the very man I wanted. There is something you can do for me.
What do you want? You want me to steal her underwear?
There's a new wench at the bathhouses, though. Watch it, Henry. This is the love of my life we're talking about, not some wench.
Uh-huh.
The face of an angel, breasts like silk pillows to dream on, good strong hips.
Uh-huh.
Regular healthy Troy.
Birthing hips, huh? Alright.
I don't know anyone from there. Never mind, blockhead. What I'm saying is, she's a fine filly, and you can help me win her. Sounds like fun.
Morning, Neil.
You shall be my messenger of love. You shall bear her a letter and a gift from a secret admirer. Why me? It's not like you to be bashful, Sir Hans. You can just go and tell her. Certainly not. Carolina is different to the others. She was educated in a convent and needs to be handled with kid gloves, romanced. I must court her secretly. It's the latest fashion in
Oh, I see. The fashion in France. Yes, of course. The butcher's daughter? Oh, okay.
You must have noticed a divine creature in the marketplace, unless you're more interested in barnyard animals. No, I don't know who you mean.
Oh, really? Alright, hold on. I'll adjust the volume.
Maybe I'm right about your barnyard interests. Well, all the more wenches for me.
All the more wenches for me. Yeah, that's more what I expect you to say.
Necklace fine enough to grace her lovely neck. Did have one.
Straight from, this is the love of my life, this is different, to, all the more wenches for me. Yep, that's him. Alright, let's see. Alright, how's this for the audio?
What happened to it? I lost it playing at the end. But you'll get it back for me. You're a smart lad. I'm sure you'll figure out a way. And I'll reward you handsomely.
Sure.
Oh, all right then. Is there something else I should know about this necklace? I lost
Of course you did.
in the Ledechko Tavern when I was there to see... Well, that's not important.
So, some dice player from Ledechko won your grandmother's valuable necklace. Haven't you learned anything from losing to Zdena, the bathhouse wench?
My great-grandmother's. And as it happens, I have learned a trick or two. But that fellow has the luck of the devil. No doubt he'll still be sitting there, swindling other folk.
Barely hear them. Alright, let me adjust again.
Alright. I'll go to Ledechko, find this diabolical dice player and see what I can do. Though I'll probably lose my shirt to him.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Good luck then.
Amazing how the lighting changed so much. Alright. As long as it doesn't make me play the dice game again. Okay. There we go. That's as loud as I can get it. And I didn't punch this time. Amazing. I was worried I was going to punch the horse, and the horse was going to get up and start punching back. And it would be a whole thing. Okay. So, the tavern over here, right? The one he frequents? What? Why? Fine. You know what? This just makes things easier. If I can't buy it off the guy, then I can just knock him out, loot him, and run away. And no one will care because it's the next town over. I swear, they look for every excuse to make me travel back and forth. I'm still too loud. Yes, I am loud. It is one of my many virtues, you see. Okay, I've decreased my volume. Hopefully this strikes a better balance. So, maybe the charlatan could help me get the necklace back. Grandmother's precious necklace. Why don't you go get it back for me? Well, you lost it in a gambling game. That means it's not yours anymore, you know. That's kind of the whole point of gambling, I think. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. That's what I thought. I suspected as much. There we go. Nope, wait, I'm stuck again. What the hell? Okay, no, why do I keep getting stuck? Let me out! Maybe I crawl? Okay, there we go. Alright. Alright, we're close. Innkeeper. Oh, it must be you. Okay.
I'm at your service, sir.
Are you the one who played dice with Laura Capel?
Played and won, lad. Fine noble he may be, but he can no more
No,
throw
he's
dice
not a
than I
fine
can read
noble.
Latin.
I can't disagree with you there. But look here, have you still got that piece of jewellery you won from him?
No, I don't. Some noble rode through here and we had a game or two. Only them dice kept falling his way. I was lucky to keep my boots. He's got the necklace now.
Alright, where is he?
Do you know where this fella...
He was waiting for someone here, but when they didn't show up by midday, he rode on. He mentioned something about camping by the bridge over the Sasau River. That one before the charcoal burners camp. You might still catch him there with a bit of luck.
There aren't many fords along the river on the way to Sasau. Can you tell me any...
Fine gent he was, well dressed, on horseback.
You said they fell well for him?
Aye, no wonder. Fine dice they was, made special, all shiny and whatnot.
That's all I need to know.
Good luck to you.
Alright, let's see. Charcoal burner camp, crossing the river. Bridge. Oh shit, it's labeled. It's right here. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. That's yeah. Fine. Fair enough. Huh? Objective completed? What? Oh, okay. I didn't eat anything since many hours ago when I had some rice. So I shall feast upon potato chips. How did I get here so fast? Usually it takes longer. Spoiled my plans to slip away while it's in transit to grab a soda. It's alright though. I still have to hike back with the necklace to our foppish fool. I swear, by the time I get back, I'm half expecting to find him courting another woman already. Hey, how's it going? Yes, I was surprised. I addressed it during the video. I was like, what do you mean an episode of Secret of Man is missing? Oh no! So I couldn't find it anywhere on YouTube, among my files there, my uploads. So I dug through all my files and I couldn't find it in my files. So I went into my backup files on an external hard drive, and I didn't find it among them either. So I had to re-record it with Schneider. Oh, what were the odds? Hello. I need a necklace off this guy.
You after something? I'm afraid my friend here won't tell you much.
Your friend? Oh, I'm very sorry. And, well, I don't want to be insensitive, but I was hoping to get something from him.
Yeah, it
My
was
master's necklace,
to make
which he
up for a
wanted,
missing video.
Your master? Who would that be?
Well, Sir Radzig Cobbler of Skalitz is
Nothing
my
like
liege lord.
watching a series and then finding
Just
literally
now,
the
I'm
last
helping Sir Hans
episode
Cape on
missing.
the,
I'm like, oh no.
private matter.
So
Those
I
are
had to
weighty
fix
names
that.
in these parts.
But it took me 2 weeks
I'm
to
Sir
get
Anselm of Donkey,
to arrange
in the service
where I could get together with Schneider and redo the final dungeon. I'm just
I'd like to
glad
give
I found
you-
a save
that
file
is,
on the internet.
I'd like to ask you for
Seriously.
your help.
I don't think I can help you. I've got a pressing task of my own to deal with.
I understand. But we can help each other out. You see, I think I know where that necklace might be.
You do? Well, I'm all ears.
Just give you money.
The thing is, this is all my fault. I got held up on the way to meet Alphonse. By the time I got here, I found him like this.
God have
I
mercy
could
on
just
his
give you
soul.
money. Can you tell me where the necklace is?
I was heartbroken and enraged by turns.
I could just buy him a new
Tearing my hair
necklace,
and
a better
cursing.
necklace.
Alphonse was my good friend, and it pains me to know he was only here on account of me. I brought him into a certain business matters to negotiate
You
with
know, I
some
don't think
people,
we've
and
seen
he
a
agreed.
jewelry shop in
And
this
this is
game
how it ended
anywhere.
up. When
Where
I
do the
finally pulled
noble go
myself
to buy
together,
their necklaces and
moved
all
around
their
and found some
rings?
tracks. I followed them to the camp of those very brigands that Alphonse was supposed to negotiate with.
Nah, you can't trust anyone these days. So how can I help?
You can pass yourself off as Alphonse. Get into the bandits' camp and find that fucking murderer. And when you do, you'll find what you're looking for.
Could just kill them all. The entire camp for you.
That doesn't make any sense. If one of them killed Alphonse, he'll know I'm not him.
No, no. They never saw him before. So whoever killed him surely took him for some passing merchant.
Are you quite sure they don't know him?
Aye. He moves in altogether different circles. Among decent people. That's the very reason I asked him for help. So I reckon the best thing is for you to introduce yourself as Alphonse, have a snoop around, and come back to me when you find out anything.
Now, wouldn't it be better if you did that yourself? After all, I know nothing about this Alphonse. They'd see through me.
I'd do it if I could, lad. Only they know me, and I'm not on the best of terms with them. They'd most likely kill me on sight. Then the two of us would be dead and those bastards would get away with it.
Well, I hope I can avoid the same fate.
I mean, honestly, the necklace is not worth this.
Is there anything else I should watch out for while passing myself off as Alphonse?
The main thing is to look and sound like a noble, not a peasant, a commoner. So dress the part. No rags or rusty iron.
And how am I supposed to recognise the killer?
Ask around. I don't reckon anyone will admit to stabbing him in his sleep, but you might pick up some clue. You could have a look around for that necklace. Now that I think of it, they stole other valuables from him too.
Silver is silver, though. I won't recognise anything. Didn't he have something unique? A signet ring or chain or...
No, not that I can... Oh yes, he did. Dice. He had a set of dice made specially in Prague. It was his pride and joy. They were red and gold.
Well, I mean, those could have changed hands 100 times by now. A trinket like that in someone's possession doesn't mean that they murdered the guy.
What can you tell me about Alphonse?
Oh,
So
right!
they don't catch me out
He's
if
still
they
in the
start asking
period where it
questions.
counts as
Indeed.
stolen and it's got the little hand signal
Few
next to
details
it. That's
suffice.
right. We'll notice it
He was
by
from Slough.
that.
But lived in Prague the last few years. He advised people. Very well too. He helped them to deal with problems. Of all kinds.
He sounds like a man of the world, but I've never even been to Prague. I'm not sure I can fool them.
You can always change the subject. He was an ardent dice player, God forgive him. And he spent some time in Moravia on the service of Prokop of Luxembourg. But that was ages ago.
What do you know about the brigand?
Actually, they're not just ordinary bandits.
Oh,
It's a robber baron and his band. Sir
I used to
Erhard
encounter
Baron
those all the time in
Beelitz.
Darklands.
Some of his vassals
Robriters. I
and
never
maybe some
figured out how to
commoners.
pronounce it.
They came here in the hope they'd have a better chance of keeping their heads.
They were a
Why don't you
great
ask some of the
target
local
when you
lords
could
for help?
find one.
I'm sure the Sasau custodian would lend you a few men.
There's There's nothing I'd like to see more than the lot of them strung up. Only I have a task that conflicts with that. And as for the custodian,
You
I'm pretty
don't
sure Sir
say.
Sebastian is in league with him.
No, he couldn't be
What was the purpose of
corrupt.
Sir Alphonse's negotiations? I'll need to know that.
Look, Henry, you'd best avoid that subject if at all possible. Just find the murderer for me, get your necklace, and I'll take care of the rest.
It'll be a bit hard to avoid that, since it was supposed to be the entire purpose of his visit.
Like, I can't think of
True.
any way this could be a
Well,
double cross.
Alphonse was supposed to talk Earhart into moving his robbing
I
raids
have to
towards
take this
Venetia.
guy's words at face
Especially holding
value
up
because I just
merchants'
don't see
wagons
any
heading for
kind of
Prague.
twist that could
In
come
return,
from
he was to
this
offer a reward of up to 12,000 groschen. and
that
safe
he'd be
haven
setting
for
me up
pilgrims.
for.
I see. So you work for someone in Pilgrims?
No, neither
I
pilgrims
mean, it'd be
nor
incredibly
Venetia.
stupid to ask some
Nor
random
Lachine,
person to
that
do
matter.
this for you, but aside
It's a
from
bit
that,
complicated. Damn politics.
that's just standard RPG quest giver logic.
My word. The whole thing sounds like quite a twisted affair.
So are you going to help me?
Good news is I've got speech 19. Unlikely.
I'll help you. I'll have to go, though, to look for the necklace anyway.
Thanks 1,000-fold. And for the love of God, don't get caught. I'll never forgive myself.
Oh,
if
I'm
another man lost his
sure
life on
you'd
my account.
never forgive yourself.
starts to look
That's why
risky,
you're sending
take the
someone,
L.
a stranger,
I'll bear that in
in.
mind. There's something else I...
Okay, we're
I've no
done
more questions.
here. All right. The robber baron's just in the woods, huh? No castle?
Looks like he died without a struggle. Maybe killed in his sleep. They took everything he had. Money, jewelry, even his boots. Someone was searching for something here. Were they out to rob him of everything he had? Or something in particular? Could it be someone was trying to get rid of something here?
Uh-oh. What is this? It didn't fall into my quest items. Okay, I think that's just a map back to their camp, which we'd already had marked on our map, so I'm gonna slip away and grab a soda. I'll be right back. I will return momentarily. There we go. Okay. I'm a very powerful alchemist. I think I should brew a potion that makes my dog grow to the size of a horse. Then I can ride him into battle.
Yeah.
I don't see any flaw in this plan. Giganticism. Probably just mix some belladonna with some marigolds. Maybe throw in the boar's tusk.
Yeah.
I'm going the wrong way. I'm following the wrong A. I'm looking for the red A, not the other A. I was like, this isn't a forest. Where am I going?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I took a ton of damage. That's fine. I've got drinks for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Somewhere around here is a bandit camp. There's a robber baron hiding. How many could there possibly be? Not too far. Okay. Ah! Cool. Found it. Barbecue. Wow! Yeah, you guys really have fallen on hard times. I could just play a dice game with everyone till I see the fancy dice and start asking questions there. Doesn't look like there's all that many guys here. Oh, I will go around. Oh. Let's make one adjustment to our armor. Right up to the front door. Hi, how's it going?
Would
I be right in assuming this is the encampment of Sir Erhard, Baron Bielewitz?
What's going on there?
You must be Sir Alphonse, eh?
Who's there?
All the way from Prague, eh?
Prague, yes, quite. But I travelled via Guren, thinking it the less
What's that?
hazardous route, comparatively.
Hey!
Oh,
who's
aye.
there?
The roads ain't safe at all these days.
Mother
There's
of
all sorts
You
of
don't
rabble
say.
waiting to rob unwary folk and even kill them.
Indeed, I concur. One must be wary, well, cautious even, when travelling.
Right then, but you'll have to wait a while. Sir Erhard is busy at the moment.
No matter, I shall
that?
just,
But it's easy to pass the time here. There's always a dice game going on, with nice things being wagered.
You don't
I
say.
had my eye on a fine pair of gauntlets and some old piece of jewelry.
jewellery, you say?
That's right. Just go and see old Blaha,
Who's that?
the fellow sitting at that table there. He can read,
Hey,
write, and do
who's that?
sums as good as any scribe. And other things, too. He keeps things in shape here a bit.
Thank you. I may well do that.
Does Henry know how to do math? It's never come up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving around makes you harder to count. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Assuming there's 1 or 2 that I didn't catch sight of somewhere in here, we've got maybe 15. Let's start with you. Hey, surprise! Which game? You were asking about what kind of games he was into the other day. And as I mentioned, he's mostly into platformers. I said he wasn't into strategy games, but actually he does really like Warcraft 2. Warcraft 1 and 2. Oh. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask him. He's particular, even when it comes to platformers. Like, there's some platformers he loves and some he really doesn't. And then there's real oddball games like Lagoon for SNES that he's a huge fan of. Yeah, he makes up for the lack of other fans with his own enthusiasm. He's not into first-person shooters either. He's never played a first-person shooter to my knowledge. I mean, maybe he has and I just don't know about it. But we talk video games, and it's never come up, so I really doubt it. I mean, it's not like I know every game he's ever played.
I was told I could have a game or two here until Sir Erhard has time to see me.
Aye, he's got his hands full at the moment. You must be Sir Alphonse, eh? I'm Blaha, Sir Erhard's servant. I take care of things here a bit.
Including dice?
He got the
It has come
box
to my
set
attention
of
that there are
Warcraft
interesting
3. I
things
know
being
he's
wagered.
got the, because
True
he's got the
enough, we've got a
fancy
fine pair of
artwork.
plate
I've seen it.
gauntlets,
The
two
like little the
necklaces,
posters that
lovely
came in the
piece.
box.
A good sharp
So
sword
I know
and
he got the
some other
most
things. I don't
expensive
remember what.
Warcraft 3
Custom
box
here
set
is if
when
you
it was
wanna
new.
play, you've got to wager something to join.
But I think he prefers the older ones actually.
Do you really think it's appropriate to ask your lord's guest to pay for his own entertainment?
Since you put it that way, sir. No, perhaps not. You want to play right away, or...
Why wait? I'll play now.
We'll
You'll
give it
have
a
to wait a
C
while.
if you've got the dice. Basically, for Tiny Thor, I just have to show him a trailer and ask him. I can't predict. He'll probably look at the jump physics and other aspects of it and make a decision based on what he thinks. He was also the one who introduced me to Gimmick. He likes Gimmick.
Can I ask you something?
Ask away.
He tends to like almost all the Mario games.
Tell me something about yourself.
Why do you want to know? You want to spread the word about what a good dice...
Yeah. What?
You know what they say. Curiosity killed the cat. But if you must know, they call me Berta. And I'm Sir Erhard.
Berta?
Ah, you heard of me, have you? The Scourge of Vlashim. No man who felt the edge of my axe lived to tell the tale.
Well, if somebody felt the edge of your axe, the odds of their survival in the Middle Ages wouldn't be so high.
Why are you hiding out here?
I wouldn't call it hiding. We're just having a bit of a rest.
From what?
Things were getting a bit too hot for us. Nobody bothers us here. Just as long as we don't show our faces in Sassa.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you leave the camp at all?
What are you trying to say? That we're shitting ourselves here?
Yeah, exactly that.
Then I'd better put you right on that, eh?
You're welcome to try.
Hey, if I can take them out one at a time in duels, that would be great.
What's the matter? Come on!
I already had my weapons equipped.
You'll get...
Huh? What? What do you guys want?
Goddamn!
What do you want? Why are you attacking? You're not the person I was dueling. You're punching me? Are you stupid? What are you doing? Well, alright then. This is happening, I guess. Shit. I can't disengage. I'm just surrounded by a bunch of people, and please disengage. Please disengage. No, stop. I'm trying to disengage. Oh my gosh. I'm constantly stuck grabbed to people. Alright, let's see. Now my back's to a wall at least. No, he drew a sword first. He drew a sword first on me. He drew a sword out. It was not a fist fight. He definitely drew a sword before I had done anything. Yeah, it's over. It's just done. Pinned to a wall and just beaten up. Because I wasn't prepared to fight in the middle of the entire camp. That's not how I'd approach fighting the camp if I was going to attack it. Piss me off.
Filth, stink everywhere. Should have stayed home.
Who was it who did that? Was it Noggin? I don't think it was
Can I ask?
Noggin.
Oh. That's all I need to... ask you?
Ask away.
Same questions to each person.
You're my daughter.
I am.
Just curious.
You could put it that way. I ain't been...
Is that right? How did that happen?
Well, I was lying in wait for this wagoner, see? Because he'd been mouthing off about me, so I figured I'd take all he had for compensation. Anyway, I'm hiding in the bushes, and I hear this wagon coming. So I jumped out to ambush him.
I would say he
And it
games
wasn't that
less than
wagon,
10
it was
hours a
some
week
merchant.
normally.
As soon as he saw me with my weapon drawn, he started screaming bloody murder.
He likes
The next thing,
anime.
his armed
He
escort
likes
comes charging up,
old
and I was the one
sci-fi,
ambushed.
particularly Doctor
The
Who.
injustice of it.
He doesn't do a
Vexing
lot of
indeed.
reading.
Aye. Anyway,
He likes
they called
comics a
me and took
lot,
me
and
with them.
manga
They figured I
especially.
was
He's a
set
big
out
manga
to spy,
fan.
and they wanted me to lead them to him. Of course, I told them
And he
I didn't know
spends a
what the fuck
lot
they
of
were on
time
about.
working
So,
on
while they were
projects
threatening
that
to break me
involve a
on the
lot
wheel,
of math
string
and
me up what
things.
have you, along comes the Baron with his merry band, and they lay into the soldiers and send them running for the hills. And ever since then, I've been riding with them.
That is quite an entertaining anecdote.
Ain't it just? If it hadn't been for me, the fellas would have run straight into a trap and it'd all be up with them. So, it's on account of me, they're still alive.
And how are things here? Do you get away much?
We ain't allowed to leave. So I've been here the whole time. I don't mind though. There's always something to pass the time. And we've got that wench.
That's all.
I don't think he's ever been competitive or gotten into an MMO of any kind. But he has beaten some fairly difficult games, I know that.
Can I have a word with you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what difficulty he likes. As I said, it's like he grew up in the NES era, so, you know, but he doesn't gravitate towards things like Dark Souls or anything. He also doesn't like Breath of the Wild. He's never tried it. He just looked at it and decided he didn't like it for whatever reason. It's almost impossible for me to predict what he will or won't enjoy. So, you know, he finds what he likes. I have been walking him through the Mana series, though. I have been doing that. Next up, we've got Seiken Densetsu 3 on his to-do list.
What's your story? You don't look like one of them at all.
I ain't, true enough. I'm a local. I don't go raiding with them. When they're here, I just look out for them, bring them supplies and that.
And what do you do when they're not here?
Whatever's needed.
Oh,
But being a
no.
go-between
Dark
for them
Souls
to
is
set up
not
the
a
ambushes
reflex
pays well,
game.
And you don't have to risk your neck for it.
Dark Souls is definitely not a reflex game. A reflex game will give you the ability to interrupt your actions at any time, like something like Bayonetta. Dark Souls is the opposite. Dark Souls is almost turn-based in its nature. Every time... So here's the thing. On opposite ends of the spectrum. So, in a game like Bayonetta, you can cancel out of any movement you're doing at any time and dodge away. In Dark Souls, you're slow. Your rolls are slow. Your movement is slow. And every single time you start an attack, you can't stop. You are committed to that attack. And some of the attacks, they are so incredibly slow. The big wind up with your huge weapon, dragging it along the ground and swinging it. So you have to really get a feel for how your opponent moves and exactly when to set up and come in and hit them. And you die a lot. That's the design of it. That's how you learn. That's how you play. That's the themes of the very world, is you're undead and you're living in a world where nothing stays dead. Nothing can die anymore. And so you keep just getting back up and coming back to fight again. And, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, reflex games are very different. A lot of first-person shooters are reflex games, like very twitchy. Now, the further you go into FromSoft, the faster their games do get. Elden Ring is much faster than Dark Souls. Elden Ring, you can just straight up jump. Dark Souls, you cannot jump. Jumping is not a thing. You're going to have a shield up in front of you, and you're going to take it slow, and terrible things are going to come for you. Terrible, gigantic, horrible things are going to come for your life. Yeah. I tried Dark Souls only a year or so ago, and I was really impressed with it. It's a very well-made game. PS3 era, so pretty old at this point. But it was very well put together, and it wasn't almost any of the things I had been told it was. It was not hard. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard. It was actually very fair. You could screw yourself over a ton of different ways. You could screw yourself over. You could decide right off the bat you're going to go straight into the catacombs, and the game is practically screaming, don't go this way. Like, the enemies give you no XP. They're really, really hard to kill. They hit you really hard. And if you go deeper, then it gets really dark, and the skeletons cannot be killed and give no experience at all. And if you keep going, it just gets worse. A lot of players apparently start off and they decide, this is the way to go. And they just keep trying to go deeper into the catacombs. It's like, or you could look around and discover that there are three other paths available to you at the very start of the game, although one of them, we'll say two other paths, that are, well, one of them is more doable anyway, depending on whether or not you have certain things, there's other factors, but anyway, there's other ways you could, but again, you have, what's so interesting about it is it's basically a Castlevania that gave you total freedom. It's not an open world, but everything is, you can go in any direction, everything's interconnected. It's shocking just how interconnected everything is and how much you can get around. And a lot of people really like that about it. I understand that the later titles don't have that at all. Elden Ring did not have that at all. Where you keep finding paths that just intersect into each other everywhere, and at any given time, you could go in any of countless directions. So if something's kicking your ass, you should probably just go someplace else, or look around and find something, because there's a lot of stuff that's just hidden, and some of the things, it was built to be a weird multiplayer game. Like, from the ground up, Dark Souls is a multiplayer game at all times. Not just because other players can step into your world and kill you at any time, certain strings attached to that, asterisk, and you can summon other players to help you fight the bosses, which I didn't do, but also they leave messages all over the ground, some of which are helpful, some of which are trolling you. And it took me a while to accept, no, that's part of the game's intended experience. The game is filled with things that would be more or less impossible for you to figure out if there weren't messages on the ground left by other players. Like, that is very deliberately the design that they went for. So, you have to deal with the other players trolling you. Because that's part of the game too. Intentionally part of the game. The game literally rewards players with for leaving messages that get likes or dislikes. Trolling you literally will make other players more powerful. The whole game is built around being multiplayer, and that's only the mechanics that make sense. The game is filled with mechanics that make no sense. Like, if there are other people using holy magic in an area, it makes your holy magic more powerful. So if there's like a whole bunch of players fighting one boss with holy magic, and you happen to go in and fight the same boss with holy magic, your holy magic is being boosted by all the other players. But if you choose to not play online, well, a lot of mechanics that are part of the game suddenly don't exist for you. It's weird. It's very weird. It's very different. It's very strange, mysterious game, and there's a lot about it that just... It's a very mysterious game. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, I have not played Sekiro. I've heard Sekiro described as a rhythm game. Repeatedly, by multiple people. So I'll take their word for it. Sekiro is a rhythm game. Dark Souls. Well, I like my heavy armor and my big-ass weapon. But Dark Souls is never gonna be fast. It's never gonna be Bayonetta. It's never gonna be Breath of the Wild. Let's see. Does he like demos? I don't remember him ever playing a demo. But I've never heard him objecting to demos either.
Can you tell me something about the camp?
I don't know.
This place? It's been here as long as I can remember. I used to come here as a youngster to play with my mates.
I'll just
Anyway,
have to
one time
see if I
had to
can
lie low,
ever get
so I
him to
came
come
here,
by, and
ran
then you
into
can
Legion.
talk to him
Pay
directly.
good coin when you bring them some wine and a bit of grubs.
Why did you have to disappear?
I'm sorry, I don't know
Nothing
every
terrible.
aspect of
Just
my
that I was
friend's
courting
life
this one girl,
and
although
his
your old
feelings
man
on
and
everything
brothers didn't
video
take to it.
game.
Besides which, she was promised
I
to
must
some
not
rich
be an
merchant.
adequate gamer
Once they had her
friend.
married off, they forgot about
Alas.
me, though.
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play the second and third Dark Souls eventually. I know that Dark Souls 2 was the one that the fans don't like, and it has a Rat King in it. It's one of you two.
Can I ask?
Ask away.
Tell me something.
Why do you want to know?
Okay, this
You know
is the
what they
guy that
say,
picked a
birds
fight
are-
with me.
Ah, you heard.
Why?
I wouldn't.
From what?
Things were getting.
Don't you leave?
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
They're not.
Okay. So it starts me out. I've already got my helmet on and my sword drawn. He pulls out his sword.
Had enough of life, have you?
No one ever reacts to my weapons having blood on them. It doesn't seem to debuff them any. It just seems to be purely a cosmetic thing. Anyone else gonna fight me? He's running away.
Filth and stink everywhere.
Alright, well, that seemed to go okay this time.
You wouldn't believe me. Well, I was a sentry at Ratai, but they paid chicken feed, so I joined up with this lot.
I was told,
Aye, he's got his hands full at...
including dice. It has come to my attention.
True enough, we've got a fine pair of plate gauntlets, 2 necklaces, one of them's some other things, I don't remember what. The custom here is if you want to play, you've got to wager some... Since you want to play...
No hurry.
What a shit day. Need a good scrap to cheer me up.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Just remember, we're not some bunch of dirty bandits. This is the camp of a noble knight, so no one necessarily... Not that I need to explain that quite well. That also means a man might take offense at something and challenge you to a duel. Always swords until first blood.
Ah, very well. I shall try not to give offense.
Sam's Fortress was pretty cool.
Can you tell me something about
it? It was really hard to get used to all the traps and everything. But after I'd been back and forth through it a couple of times,
since the Baron took to robbing,
it was a really fun place.
And what did he do before that?
What every landed noble does. He still had some estates and income from them. Only he lost it all some years ago on account of debts.
Yeah, he doesn't keep the same hours I do. I mean, it's 3 a.m. here. And he keeps normal human hours instead of, you know...
How did you find this place?
Being awake all night.
That was my doing. I heard from a scribe about some ownership feud that ended up badly for both sides. Since then, it's been left neglected.
Oh, that's a shame. No doubt it was once a fine place.
Aye, the vagaries of fortune, eh? Times are harsh and what have you. It's always been that way and always will. I wonder how many burned-out, abandoned ruins will be left when Sigismund withdraws. How many folk will have no homes to return to? And how many won't be returning ever? But that's our lot in this vale of tears. There'll be no peace and quiet till the next life.
Amen to that.
Cheater dice with me? I think I do. How is my... I could have used some work on my armor. That might bite me in the ass. If we end up in a long fight, my armor's in shit condition. Motion won't speak to me.
I'm so tired.
Here's the noble steed. Where's the nobleman?
Sir Erhard has no time for you now.
I see. Well, let's see. I don't know that I really need these anymore, but I'll drink one of those. Let's see. Pitch that out. What else we got around these? Main potion. Buck's blood. Bowman's brew. Toss a couple of these over. Missing a few things. We got books to read. Okay, let's add in a... Alright, hopefully that's not too many things at once. Okay, there's nobody else to talk to. I don't know where that one guy went. Depending on how things go, I might have to track him down.
I'd like to ask you...
Oh, this is the guy I hit. And now he won't talk to me.
I'd like to...
Oh,
Who are... Pleased to make your...
likewise.
Why?
We're not high.
Well, couldn't you rest...
What's Sasso got that we don't?
Have you been out of the camp recently? Maybe down by the river?
Why would I? We've got
I
an
don't know.
outhouse here.
I'm wondering if they'll ever release Demon Souls.
What about
That's
the others?
actually the
Why
FromSoft
would they?
title I'm most
Water
interested
here,
in.
Game in the woods, supplies enough.
That's all I need to...
No one to rob here. Fucking boy. I'm so hungry, I could eat my boots.
Another question.
What do you want?
I'll leave you to it.
I didn't vote for anything.
I just want to eat and sleep. Fuck.
Alright, where's the guy? Where'd he go? Not one of these people here?
I'd like...
Ask away.
Stink everywhere.
That's all.
Should have stayed home.
The chief has more important things to attend to just now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do here?
I'll let you know when Sir Erhard has time for you.
Killing, fighting, never losing, robbing fucking whores and boozing. Take the women, burn the village, drink, annihilate and pillage. Stepping in, wrecking, making strife, how sweet it is. Bring it.
This fight with everyone? Oh.
Where could he have vanished?
Yeah.
He must be here somewhere.
That seems a bit much. Stop spinning me! Oh my gosh, game, let me walk. Let me move. Please let me move. Please let me move. Please stop rotating me. Please cut this out. Please let go. Okay, we're fine. All right. There we go. All right.
Gotten weak at the knees, have you? I'll find you, sir. You can't hide from me.
Down. Down. Hello, you've got a shield and a proper helmet. And an arrow in your neck. 2 arrows in your neck. smoke trailing you, which is a bit weird.
What's the matter? Lost your balls?
Get hit from. Who hit me? Can't see a thing in this helmet. Well, we're gonna find it eventually. I didn't even get around to poisoning my thing. Okay. Up here's another one. Yeah, the stealth thing, it didn't work out so good. Crap, I have lost the camp and I have no marker to tell me where it was. I think it was this way. If the necklace is on some random body out here, I might have great difficulty finding it. Dino Crisis 2. Alright, we might be able to find the rest of them by going back and forth out there. Let's see if there were any stragglers. I want to play dice.
Hey.
Huh. How interesting.
Well, I never. What's that? What? Right here. Entertainment. Great.
Actually stopped me from moving forward for a second there. Of our fighting happened, though. Where are the rest of the bodies? Oh, here's one. Medieval Dynasty. I don't know that one. Alright, let's take a moment. Let's see. Too heavy. Heavy. I have 123 tournament arrows. Let's see. I'll figure this stuff out later. Ah, Demon Souls doesn't have a whole lot then.
want to play.
Sorry, but the dice tournament has been.
Oh, okay. The tournament's been cancelled. Okay, back to the stealthy approach. It's supposed to warn me when someone's spotted me so I can stop before I'm actually caught. It doesn't always work.
Hey! What do you think you're doing? You've no business here.
Hi, how's it going?
What's going on here anyway?
Haven't you ever been in the camp of a...
Never quite this merry.
They've got their loot, and now they want some fun. Booze, dice, and women. I'm the only girl here. They're more interested in dice, anyway.
They just pay you to go
and
away.
boozing, and they're no fun at all.
Well, they seem very fond of their dice, all right.
Aye, they always play the same way. Every player bets his most valuable piece of loot, and the winner takes all. It ends in a fight most times. Although it's a long time since anyone got killed over it.
I better watch my step then.
You do that, handsome. It'd be a shame to spoil that pretty face.
You still out all your teeth. I can't tell her to go away, though.
Huh. Hey, what the... Clear off before I call a catchpole.
Oh well. Not in here. Huh.
What the hell was that?
What's the matter? Come on.
There he is.
I've got you, you dog. You'll soon be sorry for slaughtering you.
No, this guy. No, not him. Why are you focused on him? That guy, yes. Focused on this guy again. There's another one.
Bugger this.
Focusing on this one guy who's not who I want to target. Even when I change targets, it goes back to him.
Is that all?
Yeah. I don't think last gasp ever really matters. Alright, how far is it back has it putting me? Alright, so every attempt at stealthy isn't working. I'm not good at pickpocketing. I'm not even going to try that path. Take me all the way back to start, huh? Alright, we're going to just do this the direct way. The very direct way. Okay, let's see. Want this. Let's see. Take some of these. Alright, enough screwing around with this quest. Let's see. What did this one do? Whoa, go back. I'll take one of these. Okay, let's see. We did a buck's blood, right? Hold on, we have to track our drinking carefully here. Okay. Do I have Aquavita yet? I do. Okay. Put my little cheaty black square right in the middle of the screen so I know where the middle of the screen is. What kind of arrow we got? I got... Let's equip wounding arrows.
Is that all you got?
Bring it on.
Being spun around again. I'm so bad at the archery. It's so much deadlier than a weapon. Like, several times deadlier than any other weapon, but I'm really bad at it. Half the time I can't even tell if the arrow's ready to be fired or not.
What's the matter? Come on.
Bring it on!
Must have gotten somebody. Yeah, I can't tell what's going on.
I'm gonna ignore this.
I'm just being spun all over the place again.
I'll wring your neck.
We'll get full.
Poisoning, that might have been a good idea. I didn't think of that.
Is that all you've got?
You call that combat?
Look, I'm just being spun around and I can't tell what's happening constantly. The combat just becomes completely a mess. I know that's very deliberate on their part. Like, I know the designers were like, you're fighting multiple people. You can't keep track of what's going on because you're fighting multiple people. This is more realistic. But man, does it suck. It just really sucks. It doesn't feel good. It feels terrible. And even if it's intentionally terrible, it's still terrible. Ugh. I'll tell you, we were just talking about Dark Souls earlier. The hardest boss in Dark Souls, the one everyone remembers, is Ornstein and Smaug. Those two, either of them would be a decent fight, but not anything special, but the two of them together is one of the hardest battles. Just, it is so hard, because you're fighting two at once. The game never dicks with your camera. It never spins you around. It never does any of that kind of stuff. It's just, there are two guys trying to kill you. Holy shit, there are two guys trying to kill you. That's really hard to deal with. really, really hard, and you don't need any bullshit. It's just the nature of things. How the hell do you keep your food? Is this your food? Oh. How long do we have to wait for the Bane potion to take effect?
Stink everywhere. Should have stayed home.
Oh. There it is. Sick?
Can I ask?
Oh. No?
That's all I need to...
Everyone's fine? Hmm. Well, I'm guessing it worked. It'll get done. Well, that did reduce their number some. Let's see here. These'll do.
You're the shooter. Now you're in deep shit. What's the matter? Come on.
comes out of the bow.
Call that combat. You'll get what for.
Don't weak at the knees, have ya? I'll slaughter you.
Fine.
Is that the best you can do?
Stop spinning me. Stop spinning me.
You call that combat.
Alright, now you're dead.
Gosh.
Take that. Bring it on. Go with.
There are times when I'm wondering if my character's rolling on the ground. There we go. Nope. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You piece of shit. Stop it. Cut it out.
You'll get what for.
Oh, what the hell? Why? No, I did not mean to push one. Put that back on. Put that back on. I keep pushing it. There we go. All right.
Is that the best you can do?
I'll slaughter you.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Oh, I'm stuck in the bushes now. Oh, no. Now we're spinning.
What's the matter? Come on. Cut.
Bring it on.
You call that combat?
Stop it. Stop it. Cut it out. Go. Let go.
You'll get what for.
Go weak at the knees, have you?
I'll fight you, you carp. Shot hate for me.
Is that the best you can do? I'll slaughter you!
And we're disengaging is this freaking hard. And I know I've harped on about it a handful of times, but I literally took a skill at the beginning of the game that said you'll run faster. And everyone can keep up with me.
Is that all you got?
Stop. I give up.
You could have.
Back me up to it.
Peace.
You.
Come here, Lily Liver. Yeah. Fucker.
whoever you are. Well, now it's just you and me.
All right, you.
Oh, hello. Were you here the whole time? Alright, is that everyone? Did I miss anyone? Alright. Alright, now. We've identified a necklace. Is it on you? No. No necklace on you. Okay. How about you? Oh. Demonic dice. No necklace, though. Okay. He ran off. The necklace better not have been on her person. Interesting that they used a very hard lock on her room. Next. You! Oh, fear not. How fancy. You were well situated, I see. Doesn't seem to be on your person. You! Hello. More devil dice. Lots of money. Not on you either. Is it you? You? Oh, you're the knight! You were a pain in the ass. Those are some fancy clothes. What else you got here? I just picked them up. Where are they? Ah, here they are. They're noisy. Huh. But I'll take the charisma boost. Alright, the robber knight and his merry men. Or no more. Good grief. Well, if that's what we decide we wish to do, we have a lot of dice. We should create a game involving dice. Dungeons and, something. Something else with a D in it. I don't know. I have to think about it for a while. What would be a good name? It's not in here. Oh no, I thought for sure this was the box. Ogres and oubliettes, huh? We have a problem. None of them have the necklace on them. We have a problem here. The necklace wasn't here. Yeah, I'll say 5757. Honestly, that's a hell of a weapon. Yeah, he does. I'm not sure how he did. I think he looks at, like, gameplay videos and things, though. Okay, we have a serious problem. No necklaces have turned up anywhere. I'm worried that the lady may have had it, but she ran off. Hold on, wait a second, what was that? I suppose I could go back to the one guy and tell him I killed them all. It's possible he has the necklace. I'm certain I checked each and every one of you. I'm only aware of one who got away. Did I miss anyone? It's not in this chest. It wasn't in that chest. Oh!
Hey, what?
Were you given a necklace? If she's still here, then nobody's ran off. But where would there be another chest? She's really gotten lucky. She can have all of this stuff now and sell it all. She has escaped. All this armor's worth a fortune. Can't find the chest. Because we opened the one in her place. Are there any other buildings? I don't think there are any other buildings. Whoa, what was that? Oh, nettle. For a second I saw Annie and my mind went, necklace! Because that's what my mind is looking for. Yeah, I thought about that door the other day, that really embarrassing thing with the door, and I figured out what went wrong. My mind creates maps as I go, very badly. I played a lot of games that didn't have any kind of, oh, here we go. that didn't have any kind of maps or anything in them, so, you know, you just had to figure out your way around for yourself. Anyway, when I approached that building the other day, and I tried to go pick a door lock, and then somebody came behind me and they went in through that door, my mind was like, okay, there's a door on the first floor of this building that leads inside. Then I went upstairs and around and lockpicked some chests and did some other things, and when I came down the stairs and saw a door, my mind just went, yes, there is a door on the first floor that leads outside. You are looking for a cellar door going down. Okay? And so my mind had just locked that in as that's the exterior door you saw earlier, when, well, it wasn't. It was at a different angle and everything, but yeah. My auto-mapping function failed me hard. Well, at least it looks fancy. Wow, 3,000. Alright, well, we've got the Hope Diamond. Oh, what the hell, just take it all. Oh, a back door. Is that so? Alright, we can go back and tell the one guy I took care of his problem. And then we can get out of here. Just in case anybody else comes along and decides to eat out of that pot, I have no way to empty the pot, but I can at least pour the antidote in. Oh, there you are. Eat the pot empty. There's a problem with that. There's a problem with eating from that particular pot right now. Well, not anymore, now that I cured it. I didn't take any of the poison immunity stuff. If you know it's there, yeah, that would be a convenient way to skip the whole quest on a subsequent playthrough.
Yeah.
Dice Studios. Okay, so near the bridge, right here. No, this is the wrong bridge. No, this is the right bridge. Ah, there it is. Hello, yes! The site of a murder. It's okay, because I turned the other site into a site of many murders. I found the killer.
Good news for you, Sir Anselm.
I know who did it!
Who was it? It was the fella they call Noggin. How did you find out?
From the boots?
from the necklace.
All right. I'll take care of it. I'm sorry I don't have more on me.
You'll take it from here?
If you're ever in Prague, come and look me up.
We're not going to tell him?
You're well taken care of.
It's been a pleasure, Sir Anselm.
We didn't tell him. Oh. I haven't seen this helmet design before. Huh. What kind of in rough shape? Oh, the Battlefield series. Used to be a competitor to Call of Duty. There's one of the Call of Duties that I might try someday just because it's spoken of very highly with its missions. But I'm really not a first-person shooter kind of guy. The only first-person shooter that I'm excited to try is the Doom 2016. That one seems great. Is this his chest or not? I'm just curious about you. Darn it. Hold still.
What the fuck are you doing? Keep
Man,
your
that just
sticky
doesn't
fingers
work.
to yourself.
Oh, he took his helmet off. Why would you do that right as you start a fist fight? Oh well. I guess, come on, stop doing that. That doesn't do damage. I have a feeling this fight could take a while. I'm just curious to see your helmet and its stats, sir. Oh well. I hope you weren't important to any further quests. Because if you have to fight alongside me in a fight later or something, you're gonna have to do it without your armor, and that's probably gonna suck. I haven't done a single point of damage. Oh, the dog is interfering with your movement. Gee, I wonder what that could feel like. I can't hurt him. He's immortal. And my character will not stop grabbing his face when I say punch.
God damn!
Dude, ask somebody to show them your hat. Like, I want to look at your hat, sir. Am I capable? I wish I had another stunning attack. If only there was a stunning weapon. Please stop grabbing his face. Stupid. This is really stupid.
You're gonna cry now? Show what you're made.
Kick him. Kick him. He's taking no damage. Look, I'm really stubborn. They should be damaging you. Maybe this is like, maybe your health bar is bigger than it looks and I just can't see all of it as it goes off the, allotted space. Keep kicking you in the crotch. I don't think they know that one. So, yeah, there's no way to hurt him. This just is infinite.
Fuck it!
Huh?
Giving up already?
Surrendered yet. Come on. Half your health is missing. Fortunately, if I switch to punching you, it'll take my shield away. And we haven't figured out how to do a shield bash. Oh, there he goes. He surrendered it. Oh. Never mind. He unsurrendered. I want one of the fancy swords. He's just taking a nap. It's fine. Okay. Oh, it's just one of these. I've seen these in stores. Okay, that's what that was. Ah, okay. I was just wondering if you had some fancy new helmet. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Ah. It's fine. He won't even notice. Alright, we gotta go repair all of our stuff now. We come back to, Hans. So, you found the necklace? Yes. So you got it back from the gambler? No. Oh, okay, how'd you get it back? I killed 20 people. Everyone involved is dead. Rivers of blood. Oh. Oh, you got it. Oh, cool. So anyway, would you give it to my lady friend? Yes. I will give it to your lady friend. You could wash it off in the horse trough first, though. It's dripping. If you insist. Yeah, that might have been better. I try to just pickpocket to see if I can see his equipment in his inventory. Yeah. That's generally accepted as being the easiest way to fight somebody in heavy armor, is to wrestle them and stick a knife in them. Or to use blunt force trauma, or to use a crossbow. I've told crossbows are pretty effective. I wouldn't know. I've never played with I've never played with a bow, honestly, so I can't speak to their effectiveness against different armor types. Alright, let's see. First we need to clean up, we need to get everything fixed, then we can talk to his lordship. On guard? Well, for me, it would mean bending both of my knees and squatting down into a fencer stance. One foot, if you put your foot, the heel of one foot into the very middle of your other foot, which is turned sideways, making a T, you then take about one step, one shoulder width, we'll go with a shoulder width apart spread out from that. You would hold your sword in guard, which is your arm is parallel to the ground with the sword pointed forward at I guess your first rib height, thereabouts. Pointed straight at your opponent, a straight line pointing at them.
I'm interested.
And what is it? I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied.
Yeah, an arbalest. That would do it. Wait for a thunderstorm. Give him a kite! Oh! A game. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that particular game. So I wouldn't know. I thought you were asking me what the on guard position would be. So I described the guard position. It's different with an epee, of course. And a saber has a completely different guard position as well. I described the foil guard position. The guard position is what you reset to every single time after every single exchange. If you're not actively parrying or attacking, you go back into the guard position every single time. Yes, yes, officer, I forgot to leave my headlights on.
Got you at last. Now you get what's coming to you.
What?
You're a troublemaker, sneaking around like some assassin, so don't act all surprised. This definitely won't come cheap. You learn crime doesn't pay.
Well, good news, we just saved the bath. Oh, okay, it's okay.
Well,
okay, we're okay. Alright, put the torch on. Now. So it's going for the swashbuckler Hollywood fencing style. Swinging from chandeliers, huh? I'll tell you, if I was in an actual, like, sword fight, like a street fight with swords, there's a lot of rules of how you're supposed to duel that I would break. I would not follow any of the arbitrary rules. For the most part, I think the biggest difference would be I would throw things. Anything I could get my hands on is a projectile that can and would be used in an actual fight. Also, strikes with the feet and hands, perfectly legit. If you're in a real fight, yeah, hit them with everything you got. I'm still annoyed about that javelin thing.
I hope I can be of help to you.
But no, seriously, like, I'd take my keys, and I would slip the sword into my left hand, and I would take these keys, this big old fistful of keys, and I would pitch it like a fastball into their face. That would be like my first strike that I would do before. And then, while they suddenly hit in the face by something, yeah, I would immediately leap forward and stab them while they're if they proffer any opening. Like, there's a difference between fencing as a sport, which is modeled after duels of honor, and fighting for your life on a battlefield. There's a huge difference. Man, anything goes. Any object you have handy, that's a projectile. A chair, a table, a desk, yeah, I'll lob that at someone. Anything goes. I'll lob my shoe at someone if I think it'll make them blink and overreact. You only need them to, have a moment where they lose their focus to strike. Uh-oh. He can't repair it. Okay. We'll figure this out. Alright. Okay, but he was a weaponsmith, and this is the armor smith. Don't tell me there's only one person in all the land who can fix this armor. That would be bad. I'd have to go way out of my way. Oh good, he can do it. Great! 2,000? That's a lot. Here you go. Seriously, 2,000. That guy will never want for anything when he can make that kind of money.
My humble greet.
Off of simple repairs. No. I want repairs.
Good luck then.
There we go. Alright, we spent a few thousand repairing everything, but now everything's repaired, we're bathed, and we're good as new. I don't have any schnapps with me, but that's okay. Let's go give the guy his necklace back. Try not to lose the necklace again. Or I might have to depopulate another small town. What was that, Henry? Nothing, sir. Grease and fireball? Well, grease and fire would be a great way to deal with a knight. A caltrop, if you could get them to step on it, would go right through their boot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I would pick up a second sword because anything in your other hand is good, is an advantage. You can use it as a second sword to parry with or strike with, which I've had the good fortune to have actually been able to do. I got to do the two-sword fighting thing against multiple opponents as well. Anyway, it's not as hard as some people make it out to be to use two swords at once. But I think a shield would be better. But also, you can just say catch and throw your secondary weapon to them, and they might, in the moment, try to catch it. And then they're dead, because you stab them with the other weapon. Like, you could do a lot of things. I didn't get to do that particular trick because, there are rules in place, but, I think about these things. Alright, where is Hans? where are you? Oh, he's over here? Oh, shit. I was just there. Alright, hold on. We'll get him. I actually don't think the groin is a good target. I mean, you can strike them there, but I don't think it's a good target. Let me put it this way. I wouldn't train to strike that spot. I'll explain why. First, people tend to be good at defending their heads and their groins. That men tend to be very good at protecting that spot. You can bait them into overreacting by feinting that you're going to strike there, but they're good at protecting it. Groin, if somebody's wearing any kind of armor, that's one of the most likely pieces of armor they'll have. If they're... The biggest problem I've got with low blows, you're relying on pain to stop them. Like, yeah, if you have a sharp-edged weapon, it'll bleed a lot, it will kill them. If you can stab them there, that's deadly, but it's not instantly deadly. They'll have to bleed out for a while, but, you know, it's still a kill shot. But with anything else, with a kick or a punch or something, you're relying on pain to make them give up fighting. Some people that won't work on. Or if they're on something, if they're high, if they're just that damn angry, they might just keep fighting anyway. I think it's better, and that's also not bringing into a fact that, you know, it could be a eunuch, it could be a construct, it could be a changeling, it could be an alien, you don't know. But anything that has a human shape, shattering the knee, that's a structural weak point. If you shatter the knee, it'll go down. If you, like, there's places I'd prefer to strike. I just don't think that would be worth training to strike that point. But, you know, if you're untrained and fighting another untrained guy and it's just a brawl, I mean, well, why not?
What part didn't you... The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
I've got that necklace.
Excellent news!
Fetch!
I'm not going to ask you how you did it. Here's a reward for you. Now you can carry on with your next task.
Yeah,
I want you to sneak the jewellery into Carolina's trunk along with this letter.
Can't I just hand them to her?
You
Sneak it
cannot.
into her trunk.
Under no circumstances must she find out who sent them.
What if somebody else
Otherwise,
pretends to
whole
be the secret admirer?
ploy is fucked. Oh, and by the way, Henry, watch out for the butcher. He keeps a very close eye on his daughter, and if he catches you sniffing around, well...
Immune to status effects? I don't know what Two Worlds is. I've heard the name, but I don't know what it is. Is that... Was that one of the, Was Two Worlds one of the RPGs that had a really bad reputation? Or am I thinking about something different? Alright. This is where we find out that her trunk has been has been gambled away and then stolen by another group of bandits, right? In another camp. Ah, okay. Yeah, I haven't played it, but I think I've probably watched a review or video about it. Yeah, okay. There's a really cool MMO that was unfinished that's still running that has like no players in it. But it was actually kind of really cool looking. I'd have to dig around to find the name of it again. I can't think of the name of it. It's actually one of the things I was thinking might be really cool if we did as a group. Just explore this weird, dead MMO filled with strange stuff. Unfinished quest lines and things. Might be fun. Alright, let me see. The butcher is here, right? Yeah, this is the butcher. What if I just give it to her and tell her who it's from? Alright, let's see what the quest, the way he wants me to do it is. All the rage in France. Problem. Where's the trunk?
Burned to ashes by Sigismund's horde.
Excuse me, dog. I need to get through here.
What? God be with you.
Do you have any schnapps? Yes, those. Money is no object. Oh, you have money these days. Cool. Alright. So her trunk is somewhere in here. I'm wondering if there's a back door. Aha! A back door! Backflips? I don't know. But it wouldn't be fencing. Nope, that wasn't it.
What's going on there?
Is this the place? I think this is the butcher's house. Is that the box? Is this the box?
What was that? He's thieving! Hey! People! Thief!
Well, that was a failure. Maybe it's not. I can just tell the guard to go away. This must be her box. There we go. Done!
Don't move a finger!
What are you doing? Let go of me. I'm trying to push G over and over.
You were seen. You should have done twice. But I was just...
Just always, don't mess with me. That's it. Done.
Hi.
Big, scary Henry. Alright, we go back to Hand now, right? Wait until morning. Okay. Very complex spell building. Any thoughts on building custom spells? Oh. Oh. That's a very open-ended thing. I guess it depends heavily on what you can build them out of and what you can do with it. If you allow too much customization, you'll end up with something like the crafting system in Legend of Mana, where someone can make an infinitely powerful weapon at the start. If it's much more locked down with what you can and can't do and carefully put together, then it could be really cool and interesting. I knew a guy who had a pen and paper game where you could make your own spells. How it worked was, you had to know words in the language of magic, and you could assemble those words into any spell. What words did you know? He handed out a couple pieces of mythology from the world and said, these are all the words that your character knows. You can get additional words like this and that, and it's like so trying to get things like numbers and other basic words you were missing and scribbling out the spells with just using this, picking words out of this poetry and trying to stitch them together into spells. It was very interesting. He made a lot of interesting pen and paper games with all kinds of unusual mechanics. But that may have been his coolest one. Could be good. I actually am a big fan of cards over dice. I like cards. There's a lot you can do with deck building. Like, a lot of room there. Schneider actually had a game he designed. It was a platformer where you were sort of constructing magic as you went. You'd have to ask him about it. It had runes and it had weird stuff. Let's go have a word with him. Alright, so she found a letter and a necklace in among her personal belongings, which couldn't possibly have any connection to the person she was reporting as a thief. No connection at all. I'll just get off the horse. Yep, that's fine. That's a fine place to store my horse. Alright, it's done.
Greetings. I delivered the things as you asked.
I already know. My spies told me everything.
Spies.
She was wearing the necklace this morning as I asked in the letter.
So you'll go to the rendezvous with her?
Certainly not. I'm not going to pounce on her like a bull in rutting season. Her feelings must be allowed to mature gradually.
Potion?
Meanwhile,
Okay.
you'll
I
get a
probably
potion.
have whatever it
I thought you
is.
didn't believe in witches' brews.
Do you want a
This
bard's
is no
potion
witch's
or
brew. It's an absolutely tried and tested elixir called
Musk?
of Infinite Allure. There's a fellow in Sasau.
Musk
sells it,
of
and he
Infinite
guarantees its
Allure?
success.
You know, I've always felt that it's a crime that Elon Musk never made a cologne. I mean, if your name is Musk, and you're a businessman, and you're a billionaire, how could you not? Like, come on! I don't know what it would smell like. Burnt microchips and Mars? I have no idea. But it's like, how did he not do that? How?
Musk of Infinite Allure? Sounds irresistible. Alright, I'll try and get
Oh,
it.
you're right.
I'm
Couldn't
sure
be a
I can
thief
rely on
then.
you. Here's some coin for your costs.
Huh. Light spells. You have a means to see tombs where the game disables the minimap. Did you, Oh. I mean, I've been trained as a charlatan. I could brew something and convince him of it. I was trained by the Scarlatan. I'm a master alchemist, and I've got like 19 or 20 speech, I forget which. Why do I even need to get this for him? I could just throw some sweet-smelling things into a bottle and hand it to him, and he won't know the difference. Ah, but he needs it from the name brand charlatan. I sure am glad the charlatan is still alive, otherwise this would be impossible. Tornado in a can, a whirlwind of anvils. There you go.
Well.
Ah, the prodigal son returns.
I've got powdered
I
unicorn
knew
horn.
you'd come back to me
Did
one
you want
day.
that back?
Let me guess. You saw it in a dream?
I knew you were going to say that.
But I had a divine revelation. That next time I won't be around to pull you out of the shit.
Oh, well, I am sorry. But these things are sent to try our fortitude.
Of course they are.
I'd like to try your fortitude.
Why are you being so rude to him? You're
I've
here
heard
for
you
a
know of some
favor.
irresistibility potion or whatever it is.
Why aren't you playing along?
Naturally,
Ugh,
musk of infinite allure. An
Moses.
age-old recipe. Maybe
Moses.
even older.
The irresistible musk of
Tested by
Moses.
himself.
Moses?
Moses.
Or how do you think he managed to get his people to follow him through the desert for 40 years?
Dude, try harder.
Yeah, so it would seem. How much do you want for
Come
it?
on, man.
Who do you take me for? The wisdom of the ancients isn't something that's bought and sold in the marketplace. Did Jesus charge for his miracles? But since you ask, how about this much?
Deal.
That's not much.
Really? All right, double then.
What?
Deal.
Why? Why do I even bother?
If you like, I can mix the elixir for you.
No,
in
take the
exchange
money.
for a small favor.
Oh, not again.
No, I got 4,000. I'll give you
Is that
10,000.
any tone to use with your master?
I'll give you 20,000. Just hand it over.
Carried away by my thirst for knowledge.
I understand your impatience, but the way to wisdom is narrow and arduous.
And leads out the window.
Ah, yes. Read Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan and learn a great crazy new spell. That's how it works. Yep.
About that recipe.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, I need it.
I understand. I'm
But I won't be drinking it.
All right, I'm curious.
So what is it you
I'm
want from me
mildly
now?
curious. What is it?
Oh, my dear apprentice, everything's gone to the devil. I'm living. They say they don't trust me, as if I was some kind of charlatan. Can you believe it? Does this look to you like the face of a swindler? I'm an honest trader in sacred goods, whose only concern is the welfare.
A regular good Samaritan.
And any time now the slanderous gossip will spread here from Sassau. I should leave before things get worse.
Yeah, you need to
But I
skip
can't go
2 more
anywhere
towns
until I've made
over.
a bit of
What are you
coup.
doing staying so close to your
what's
previous
needed is to
den
give
of
the
iniquity?
locals a bit of encouragement to open their hearts and purses.
I'm not going to go around beating people for you.
What do you take me for? I wouldn't hurt a fly. Violence is for the dull-witted. We must gently demonstrate to them the necessity of buying my remedies. For example, to ward off a revenant.
Revenant? What revenant?
The dead return from the grave. A corpse that the soul is unable to depart from.
which wanders among the living, filled with rage at its wretched fate.
Yeah, I saw something like that once. But it was just some drunk going home from the tavern after losing all his money at dice.
Don't make light of such things. Now tell me, do you know how to deal with a
Bonk
revenant?
with mace.
Garlic and a crucifix should be enough, right?
Those are things everyone should have, to repel malign spirits and other evils. You are my trained apprentice, but the ignorant villager is entirely at a loss how to deal with such dark forces. It is our sacred duty to prepare them for such threats.
And how do you propose to do that?
Well, they're all doubting Thomases. They need proof. We'll need a grave, an empty grave that we can use. There's one along the way to Sasau, but it's got one minor shortcoming.
What's that?
Well, it's not entirely empty.
Not entirely? What does that mean?
You have to dig it up first.
Why this particular grave?
The locals don't like to talk about it, so it's surely got some sinister past behind it.
Dig it up.
In places like that, revenants sprout up like mushrooms after rain.
Well, if that's how it is, we could open old wounds. That could easily set people against us. Again.
Then it would be best if no one could connect us to it, wouldn't it?
I'll have nothing to do with it. Give the job to someone with no human decency.
But you're my one and only apprentice. Good health to you.
What's this about?
I knew you.
I'll need a...
Yes. Dig it.
And what am I to do with the remains?
Keep them. Human remains are always handy to have around.
Oh, God!
And how do we spread the word of this revenant?
Don't you guys believe that if a body isn't on holy ground, they can't be in heaven or some shit?
Messengers on the fastest steeds.
And what am I to tell this?
All you have to do is casually mention the empty grave, and before evening, I'll wager the whole village will know about it.
Where does this woman live?
The last house on the left, on the road to Sasau. She was the first person I met here, and by the time I reached the village green, I already had a mob looking suspiciously at me. The rumor.
And that's all?
Not quite. You should ask her who was buried there.
So, dig up the grave.
And the remains. Don't forget to remove them. Otherwise, no one will believe in the revenant.
I might have known any task for Capon would turn into some insane escapade. Grave robbing. Jesus.
Good luck then.
This is a terrible idea. There's absolutely no reason I go through with this nonsense. I already got it. I already got the thing. Where is it? I paid 4,000 gold for it. Where'd it go? I should have his potion with me right now. But I don't? But I swear I gave him 4,000 for it. Where'd it go? That's very odd. Huh. Ah. Homing projectiles, yeah. Just add various traits. I understand that Dead Space 3, one of the many things that was, they let you build your own weapons, and you could add all kinds of traits to them. And so that anybody who knew what they were doing with weapon building just built something that said, I win, and were never challenged again. Gotta watch you don't do that. digging up a grave for no reason other than to help a man deceive people out of their money. Ugh. And then we gotta find the last house on our left, which is Sasu. What? I always had a spade. I went out of my way to make sure of it. There it is. Knew I had one. This isn't an old grave. This is a recent one. And, oh, well, how about that? Femur. That's a pretty good whacking stick. This is an awfully incomplete skeleton. They're all quest items to make it impossible for me to drop them back into the grave or nearby. I was immediately going to drop them on the ground in a pile right next to the grave. Okay, last on the left on the road to Sasu, or just follow the map. I guess that's easier. Well, since they're quest items, I can't ever put them away, so... Third-person game. Yeah. Third-person game with a sword.
Has something happened here?
Do you need to
Magic.
ask? Dreadful it is. I've never known such dark days as these.
And what about that empty grave?
What empty grave would that be now?
The one beyond the village, alongside the road to Sasau. Just by the river, on the Pine Headland.
How would you know it's empty? Unless it was dug up.
Just
Oh,
a
it's dug up,
prank,
all right.
bro. Just a prank.
And empty. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Lord in heaven, what in the name of...
How come it's not in hallowed ground, anyway? Only unrepentant sinners are buried like that. Usually.
I don't like to say. It's an old wound that's best forgotten.
Whose grave is it?
Well, once a long time ago there was a young charcoal burner living here with his wife. There was always a lot of charcoal burners here, but this fellow worked alone. That's not an easy job for one man.
No one wanted to work with him, or what?
He was a hard-headed fellow who always wanted to take care of his family himself.
Well, only then you've no one to blame but yourself if you end up alone.
His wife was expecting, though no one knew it yet. And he wasn't doing well at all. Soon enough, they had nothing to eat. And so he took to thieving.
Oh, thieving.
Well, thieving is wrong.
Aye, but when there's a child on the way and your wife hasn't the strength to get out of bed for the hunger, well, you ought to think differently.
And did he get caught?
Well, at first it was just a few eggs going missing from people's hen coops. But then it was anything that wasn't nailed down. And in the end, they caught him.
And I suppose he was harshly punished for it.
Even then, he didn't let on why he was doing it. They whipped the skin off his back and banished him from Hadriex.
So justice was done then?
It wasn't enough for some folk. When the butcher found out he'd never get any compensation, he wanted them to chop off the charcoal burner's hands. If the bailiff hadn't talked sense into him, he'd have done it himself with his cleaver.
Well, he got off lightly enough then.
And in the end, he got what was coming to him, and more.
The butcher caught up with him?
No, no. It was the mills of God turning slowly but surely. His wife bled to death in childbirth, and the child died with her.
God have mercy on their souls.
Amen.
Nothing could have been done to save them.
There was no one there. He had no one who would care for his wife. They say on that day, he parted ways with God forever, and he turned his back on the village too. I reckon he never forgave himself, nor us either.
The Lord moves in mysterious ways. But how did he end up?
Don't ask me that, lad. I beg you.
Come now, good wife. You can't leave the story unfinished.
I said no. Will you let it lie?
I know who was buried in that grave.
So begins the trap.
Oh, don't start. What devil? He was from Hadriex. He was trying to eke out a living for himself and his wife, but
Pride drove him from the straight and narrow path, and soon he sold his soul to the devil to fill his stomach.
They caught him and punished him, but some of the people he'd robbed didn't think it was enough. Then when his wife died in childbirth, and the child too, he blamed everyone for it. Even God, apparently.
But when the time came to pay his debt to hell, the devil had no use for his soul, and took his wife and child instead. The charcoal burner cursed God, who struck him down in righteous vengeance. But the dead man's soul never left his body. He came back as a revenant to vent his rage at God and men and take vengeance on the living.
Jesus, did you listen to what I said at all?
Sorry, did you say something?
Oh, never mind. What do you want me to do with it?
The question is, what would the revenant do to get revenge on the villagers? Well, apprentice?
He cursed God.
What is it that most brings God to mind?
They don't have a church there. But everyone will have a rosary. I can't think of anything else. You want me to steal rosaries?
Or just exchange them?
For what?
For nothing.
Great. What about his wife and child?
Well, how did they die?
In childbirth.
And when his love turned to rage... Nothing too original. But it's tried and tested. If you do it at the baths, everyone will hear of it.
How am I supposed to do that? It might be a bit suspicious if I'm seen walking around with a pail of blood.
No problem. There's a...
The gossip mentioned the butcher. It seems he was infuriated at the charcoal burner's punishment.
And the revenant spoiled their meat with his malign touch.
How's that?
Spoiled meat is a classic example of a revenant's power.
I thought it was the work of bad butchers.
That too. Some.
So, I should switch the good meat for bad at the butcher. What about the butcher woman?
What about it?
Her conscience was troubled on account of her man, and she couldn't sleep. But I helped her, so she's found some peace.
So,
What? I'm supposed to scare the wits out of her and start all over again?
all right. If you can find some other solution, you don't have to switch the meat. But I wouldn't worry about it. But make sure it's the same kind of meat. Not even a revenant will turn a cow into a chicken.
He was stealing food from people, right? So, supposing...
We should steal from people? Disgrace.
Maybe just a few eggs from hen coops, like the gossip...
Well, that wouldn't be too serious a sin. Will they put it down to the revenant?
They would, if I put some charcoal there instead.
And their nourishment he turned into ash. So, switch eggs for charcoal, switch the meat, color the water in the baths, and switch the rosaries. That ought to do it. I hope so. Of course, if you come up with anything else, don't let me hold you back. Talking to people might give you ideas. Traders, the bailiff.
What if someone sees me in the act?
They mustn't. Otherwise, it'll end up like Sasau all over.
Sure. I'll keep... And how would I know if I've succeeded? I doubt it'll be announced on the market.
I'll be the first to know. They'll come running to me for a remedy, like hens at feeding. Off you go and...
But whatever he did, don't you think he deserves some peace?
But you know...
Help?
Me, of course. And I'd pay you a nice price for a revenant's bone.
But there is no revenant.
Not yet. What... What are you saying? That would be such a waste. Anyway, if someone saw you, the whole game would be...
Well, supposing I do it later.
All right, if you must. But I don't know what you hope to get out of it.
At least the poor wretch will have peace at last.
Maybe. As long as you bury him in hallowed ground. Otherwise, you're wasting your time.
Like in Ratai?
Well, that's probably the nearest. That gossip-mongering crone would know.
True, I could ask.
If you must. But for heaven's sake, don't even hint to her what you're up to. God be with you.
I know exactly how the charlatan should be treated.
Come here!
You! Stop right! I saw you beating folk, and I've no time for brutes like you.
And that won't be the last of... You should have thought twice about what you're doing.
Are you pulling my pizzle? Don't you know who...
But I was just...
He didn't even have the 4,000 on him. How did I not get the Musk of Infinite Allure yet? I paid him 4,000, and I beat him and took everything on his person, and yet I still don't have the Musk of Infinite Allure. What gives? How do I not have it? How? It's a recipe. It's a recipe. Do I have the recipe? I do. I have 2 copies of it. Ah, there's the problem. Okay. And as for the charlatan, yep, he got what was coming to him. At least a little bit. I think it needed more tar, feathers, and maybe run out of town on a rail. Brutal, I know, but it's the right time period, more or less. As for this quest, no deal. We ain't doing that. This is still marked. But I can brew it up in Rattay. Swap their meat with rotten meat. Color their baths so they think it's blood. Oh, jeez. Steal all their rosaries. That will freaking terrify them. All so that I may profit off of their fear and terror. Go forth. No. Nope. No. You have well exceeded the bonds of humor and good taste and everything else. Wait, what? Why would I be searched here? What do you want?
Why? Such a male.
What's that to do?
Right.
Stolen anything from Rattay in like a million years. I've been rather respectable in this location. And I've mostly avoided stealing since that one pilgrimage. The charlatan doesn't count, okay? He only halfway counts. But he doesn't really count. He deserved it. I doubt the option existed for me to report him to the bailiff, but if I had, he'd have gotten way worse. Alright, mushroom, sage, marigold, comfrey. Alright. Mushroom, sage, marigold, comfrey.
Good day.
I might have all those things on the horse, but I know you have all those things. Mushroom, comfrey. He's still got thousands of dandelions that I sold him. What am I missing? That's 3 things. There were 4. Marigold, I think. Okay, I think that's the list. I think. Okay, 4 things. Water. Water, grind, sage. It's a pity I'm starting content. Content or content? There's a dog with a weird bark. Ah. Yep. So you become a proper Scooby-Doo villain. Yeah, no, I'm sure it's a fine, fun quest, but turns my stomach. Nah, the stuff he wanted to do is just, turns, marigold 1 turn. Okay, 3 turns, marigold. Where's the comfrey? Okay, marigold, comfrey, brew 1, and then the mushroom. Okay, brew 3, those 2. Skipping, okay, yeah. Nah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to help him take advantage of them. Maybe if there had been some greater motive, like lives were at stake or something, I'd be like, okay, well, we need to do something about this, but... Alright, if I made any mistakes, I'm allowed to make one mistake. But I don't think I've made any mistakes. I think I've brewed this perfectly. I can't touch this until the flames die down. Because he immediately pitches it in the pot when you touch one of those items. I always get 2 for the price of 1 when I brew, so I've got 2 musk things. Let's have a look at you. I have 4 of them? That's not right. I should have only had 2. Surprisingly nourishing and energetic. This makes a good snack, apparently. Wait, are we expecting him to drink it? Doesn't feel like it's a very strong cologne. Okay, he's out there again. I'll catch him and I'll pour this all over him. Surprised we didn't put more fragrant things in it. I don't expect cave mushrooms to be fragrant.
Greetings. What bit? I got you that potion from the What charlatan? He's a man of learning who even cured the Pope of impotence. But thanks, Henry. I really appreciate your help.
Yeah.
Once I drink this potion, every
Of course you
woman
believe
will
him, the
faint at my
charlatan.
feet. But I'm only interested in one. The fairest creature on God's green earth.
Yeah, the butcher's daughter, I know. And then what?
A rendezvous. She and I, under the cloak of night. And you shall be my herald of exalted words. You will hide and prompt me from a book of poetry.
I'll do what?
Here's a book of poems. I'll need a little time to get ready. Meanwhile, you can learn some poems off by heart. You'll prompt me.
Learn poetry? Me? That sounds... Well,
It's the
not
opera
exactly...
scene from Final
Stop
Fantasy
wasting
VI.
time and get to it. Come back to me in a couple of hours. I have to get dressed up and groomed, and it'll take a while before the potion takes effect. Take care.
Do you think that it's just gonna make him ill? Sure you should be drinking that suspicious elixir? What if it made you incontinent or something? Oh well. So, where's the poetry he wants me to read? It's not the anthology of love poems, is it? I think it is. Let's check and see if there's another one of the quest items. I'd hate to memorize the wrong poems. Oh, I think that is it. I think it's the anthology of love poems. Oh no. There's 3 of them. I could cheat. But I bet it'll put me on a strict timer when the time comes. But I could take a screenshot and stick MS Paint on the side There's no way he's gonna do Ode to Woman. Not this one. Gentle Knight, he might do that one. Wait, he's stupid enough, he might actually... No, there's no way he'd do that one. Even he can't be that stupid. He's probably gonna go with To Love and Be Forlorn. Oh, this is a saucy poem, though. I think we read this one a while ago. Yeah, I think he's gonna go with number 2. Does not rhyme with dawn. Say may not. Consummating does not exactly rhyme with spring. I guess it does, barely. Dear, hear me thee. Those are the... Forlorn and dawn just do not rhyme, though. Fair try. And then when that fails, I'll cheat. I actually feel pretty good about having beaten the charlatan up. I do. just gave him a walloping after he asked what he asked for. It's like, that seems appropriate. That seems very appropriate. And when a guard literally watched me do it and shouted something, I'm just like, yeah, but it's this guy. And he's like, I understand. Goes away. Alright. Wait till dark. Gotcha. Alright. All their rosaries and replace it with nothing.
What are you doing creeping around like a footpad? Everyone has to carry a light at night by law.
Are you ready, Sir Hans? Henry? Something's gone wrong. Open up. I'm not going to talk to the door.
The potion did make you impotent after all. How about that?
That potion tasted rather odd, and now I have a feeling my face is broken out.
Oh, yep, you got an allergic reaction. I didn't even put any belladonna in it. Oh, wow. Well, let's just be honest with you.
No offence, sir, but you gave me quite a fright. It looks as though you've slept with your head inside a wasp's nest.
God's holy breeches, I knew it! And it's nearly time for my rendezvous with Carolina. What am I going to do?
You just sit tight, and I'll go and find you some antidote.
All right. But hurry, Henry. I can't wait any longer.
The best cure for this kind of thing is marigold
Oh,
decoction.
okay. Yeah,
I
sure,
can get
you
you
go.
that right away.
Only bandits creep around in the dark without a light.
Really?
Where's
You
your
get rid of acne and all
business
kinds
have
of things with this stuff. It's great.
I've got a remedy for you.
About time. Give it here. As soon as I'm healed, we'll go. See you later.
Should I drop
gone.
this potion of
gorgeous as
musk
before.
into
Let's go.
thieves' dinners every time now? Sir Hans, don't you know the law about torches? Oh well, I'm with him, so we should both be fine, right? Oh my gosh, how long are we gonna walk?
You must be up to no good sneaking around in the... Where the hell
You
were
taking
brought
the
up?
horse?
Don't you know you have to have a light after dark?
Nope.
Tell me, Henry, how many girls have you had in your life? If you've had any at all, that is.
Well, there's been a few, but I'm sure I can't compare with you.
Ha! Very true. One day plays will be written about my amorous adventures.
Comedies or tragedies?
That might depend on how things go tonight.
You can't just walk around in the dark. You have to have a light. It's the law.
No, not plays, but video games will be written about your adventures.
What are you doing creeping around like a footpad? Everyone has to carry a light at night by law. Hey, you. It's forbidden to walk at night here without a light.
I'm gonna just give you a bard potion and a charisma potion.
You! Stop right where you are!
Don't they always?
Surrender! You've committed a violation.
All right,
You're under
you in.
arrest.
I'm literally walking next to Hans.
Do you seriously think you can creep around? Well, you won't forget.
What are you up to? I'll be late for my wooing.
Enough.
But I was just...
Seriously. You gotta be kidding.
There's another very pretty girl living in this house here, but she's already got a suitor.
Since when has that ever bothered you?
Since the time her fellow threw me headfirst into a dung heap and kicked my arse for good measure.
It seems your future subjects don't hesitate to take a stick to you when it comes to minding the women folk.
I doubt he would have done it if he recognized me. I was, incognito.
You gave this girl a priceless necklace, an heirloom of your family. Tell me you're planning on actually, you know, sticking with her at least. And again, it means so little to you, you gamble with it, so...
We're almost there. You'll hide behind a gravestone or in the bushes and don't budge from there. Otherwise you might scare her off.
If I don't hold a torch behind the gravestone, a random
Hide,
guard
Henry.
will
Time to get
come
started.
to me.
How do you know it's her who will come out and not someone else? She got the letter and necklace, didn't she? She knows that I'm... That is, her secret admirer is coming. And what am I supposed to do? What do you think, dolt? Prompt me from that book of poetry.
There's nothing to conceal myself here. Does this count? Is this good? Am I concealed?
Who's there?
Am I? There it is. Oh, really? I'm looking for a hide prompt. I would have never guessed.
Hey.
Okay. I would have just sat there waiting.
Who's there? I can't see you.
Your most ardent admirer, fair maid.
Aha. And do you have a name?
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would still be a flower, wouldn't it? Start.
We're gonna mangle this.
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
Oh, definitely not that one.
To love and be forlorn is like night without a dawn. To be close with naught to say, like
Okay,
winter
that's how
frost
we're
in
gonna
May.
do it.
To love
We're not gonna
and
be
be
given
forlorn
choices of different
is like night
manglings of a
without a dawn.
sentence.
To be close is not the same, like intercourse in
Oh
May.
my gosh.
What am I to do? A poor wretch whose home was burned to ashes by Sigismund's hordes.
To have lips and yet kiss not is like leaving grain
Fine,
to rot.
you can have the
To love
saucy
without
one. If you're gonna
consummating
get it wrong,
is
no
like
matter what I
unsown
give you.
fields in the spring.
To have lips and yet kiss not is
Oh
like a
my
leaking chamber
gosh.
pot. To love without constant mating is like nuns all feel in the spring.
What on earth are you saying?
What's that hissing?
It's a feral goose here in the bushes.
There are no geese in this world.
Murderers took everything I had.
Ah, Lord, let me not wait in vain. I long to see my love
I
again.
should have just given him
Oh,
nothing
gentle
but
sir, be
the
of good
sins
cheer.
of woman
I
one.
shall not cling to another, dear.
Landlord, let me not wait in vain. I long to sing and laugh again. Oh, gentle sir, get off your chair. I shall not bring you another beer.
Jesus, Henry! What kind of yokel nonsense are you babbling?
Me? You're the one who's babbling.
You're an odd one. I've never heard such peculiar poetry in my life. Where on earth did you come up with it?
It's not my fault. It's really not my fault.
If I don't get my oats, I'll string you up by the ballsack.
How did you like it, dearest?
Well, it was,
Well, she didn't throw the necklace back at him.
Father is coming! Hide!
He's not very good at hiding.
Did you hear what he said? No, I have a bad feeling about this, Hans. I think we should...
Are you still there?
Still here, my love. How could I have apart from you?
Father's coming! He'll kill you!
He will not. Because it'll never cross his mind where I'll be. Henry, it's time for me to claim my prize. Whatever happens, cover my back. There you are, you seducer! Now you'll see how a butcher protects his daughter's honor.
Okay.
Buy me time. You got some explaining to do, you bastard.
Okay. Go ahead. Try to punch through plate mail.
What are you after?
See how that works for you.
Sneaking around an honest citizen's house in the dark?
I went to mourn over the grave of my great-grandmother.
Oh, yeah. Then what are you doing right beneath my window, eh?
Now, the question is, why are you trampling on great-granny's grave, eh?
Enough of your horse shit. One more word, and I'll have you.
Ah! What are you doing here?
Oh, my darling.
Get out! Get out or I'll call Papa!
My sweet.
What was that?
What was what?
That noise. I'm sure I heard a strange noise.
We're here in the cemetery. Maybe restless spirits, what do you reckon?
I'd swear it came from the window of my own house.
Well, what's that got to do with me?
Someone's been creeping around after my daughter. I come out and I find you here. Quite a coincidence, eh? So, out with the truth.
You're quite mistaken. I've never laid eyes on your daughter, and if she looks anything like you, I'd rather keep it that way.
Why, you fucking...
What do you think you're doing? Climbing in here uninvited?
Ma chérie, I came to court you.
Then go and court me from the courtyard.
Don't try to make a fool of me. I heard it clearly. What was that?
Are you alright? It seems to me you're hearing things other folk can't hear. That's not good.
You're saying I'm hearing voices in my head?
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sent Euphrosyne of Polotsk heard voices too, and she found in a monastery and churches and things.
I heard voices too. Well, could have been voices. I wouldn't swear to it though.
Look, fellas, I was standing right here and I didn't hear a thing. Do you take me for a madman?
Whatever you are, I want to know what you're doing under my daughter's window and who was talking to her. I heard it clear as day.
Good neighbour, it can't be denied that old age dulls a man's ears. I'm here alone, praying for the souls of the good people resting in the cemetery. I've nothing to do with your daughter.
There's witnesses standing right behind us with a torch.
Yours, though. But where did he get to? You must have seen him. Unless you're covering for him.
What? You don't love me?
No. And I
You're awfully slow of wit, aren't you?
How about a kiss at least?
Out, out, out!
Yasem skutni hori kodelnikov syn.
What the fuck are you playing at? My patience is wearing thin.
Yasem skutni hori kodelnikov syn.
Jesus, stop your damn screeching.
Nakopet kustala plakala. Jesu, Jesu, Maria, volala.
A knight in full plate mail singing in the cemetery. What are you gonna do about it?
Christ almighty. Let's go, fellas. This one ain't right in the head. The guards will have him for screeching after curfew. Let's not get mixed up in it. But if I ever see you here again, I'll beat some sense into your idiot skull. What, you have the gall to show your face here again? Bugger off! You? One warning wasn't enough for you. Fuck off!
What are you doing, creeping around like
I really am not capable of slowing them down any further.
by law?
I think so. This is the last DLC, and there's, well, basically, we think we know where the main enemy force is, and I'm to infiltrate their, camp. And try not to get into any more group fights. After that, I don't know what we're doing. I have so many things I want to play. I'll probably go for a shorter one, like Musashi, and then switch from there into something else. It's been a long time, but I remember Great Fencer Musashi being a fairly short, straightforward game. I definitely don't want to do horse racing in this game. Even in a game where the controlling of a horse feels really good, Yeah, not into it.
God be with you, lad.
I
What can
haven't
do for
actually
you?
played through Ocarina of Time.
Goodbye.
Apparently not. Okay, I guess I wait more hours? I don't know about wrestling matches. We got into a lot of fist fights with different groups. Poaching quests to feed the refugees. I ran a few of those, but what's the point? They're handing me like a couple of coins each time. We did help those two. We got them a job with the Millers. Then we did the quest with the guy that was abusing them, and we took care of that. And I tried offering them a place to stay in my town, but they refused.
The Lord be. How did it go with?
Yeah, we did those two.
Henry, a disaster. How come? Didn't your recitation do the trick?
What kind of nonsense were you feeding me? Carolina thought I was a thief breaking in to rob the place. I tried to explain, but she wouldn't listen. She told me to get out, or she'd call her father.
Well, you're lucky I managed to keep him busy. Only now he thinks I'm the village idiot.
Well, thanks for that, at least. Anyway, Carolina slammed the door in my face, so I suppose I'll have to look elsewhere for the love of my life.
Well, back to writing love letters.
To hell with love letters. Imagine. That silly goose couldn't even read.
Ah, shame. She missed out on something very rare.
Indeed. Here's the letter, Henry.
I've done them enough turns at this point.
At least you're capable of appreciating my literary talent. Read and learn from a poet.
I paid off their debt with the one guy. I took care of I paid off their debt. I got them a job. I took care of the bad employer. Like, I think they got enough out of me. Why did he give me the... Why did you give this back to me? Why would you return it to me? What am I supposed to do with it? That was the end of that one. Oh, was it? Why did you give me the... What am I supposed to do with this thing? About the necklace that she received. I guess I should just be glad he didn't ask me to get the necklace back. I haven't played Ocarina of Time. I played a little bit of it, but I have never played through it. Breath of the Wild had some horse stuff in it. The most memorable being the horse archery, where you had to hit all the targets. That was really hard if you wanted to do it within the time limit to get the knight armor for the horse. I can't remember if it was the saddle or the bridle or what piece it was. But man, I had to run through that so many times. You have to hit something like 20 targets accurately while riding fast. At the end, I cheated with explosive arrows to get a few of the targets that were near each other. I got the bad ending? Really? Oh, he had another ending. I read him the first part of the poem, and he immediately butchered it. And so then I laughed, and I handed him part of the second poem, and he immediately butchered that. So then I handed him another part of the first poem, and yeah, he butchered that the worst yet. Like, I don't think that I botched anything on that. Henry said one thing, And Hans said a completely different thing each time. With the correct poem? Well, he didn't tell me which poem was the correct poem. And he failed to recite what was said to him. So, yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's that. So, tomorrow, I guess it is the die is cast. Yeah. We're basically maxed out. Our character has the best armor, as far as I can tell, the best weapon. I haven't tried them all. We're basically a maxed out character at this point, more or less. Pretty much anything that's relevant is super high level. Oh, I had a vitality point I never spent, did I? Oh, were these stupid? I guess I'll take this. Ah, we got passive regeneration now. Cool. Yeah, I don't remember it being in Baldur's Gate 2, but I never did everything in Baldur's Gate 2. I might have done everything in Baldur's Gate 1. I think I did. Played that game through a few times, but Baldur's Gate 2, I never did everything in it. But I have done most of the things in it.
Yeah.
I just don't recall that. But maybe I did do it, and I just don't remember. We should finish with a bath. Also, we still have a few books to read.
Yeah.
Well, it's not my fault he's unmarried. He seems to have met all the prerequisites and then some.
Can I do
but she said nah.
I'd like to...
Uh-huh. And what?
A bit of it.
I'm sure you'll... God bless.
But he didn't ask Hans to recite poetry to him from a bush. That's probably why Henry's not married. He needed the bush poetry. That's the thing. I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need this. Alright, let's see what we got to read. Reading material. From the horse. What do we have to read today? I gotta get rid of this crap. We have on tournaments. Three copies of it. And the Rule of Saint Benedict II. Oh, part 2 of the legend. Can I even remember what happened in part 1? Oh, we got a few things to read. Let's see. Let's start with on tournaments. Well, I don't know about the French novelist Cyrano de Bergerac. And I've read a lot of classic literature, and I haven't heard of that guy. Then again, I haven't read a lot of French novels, aside from Jules Verne. I mean, I read so much of Verne. Some of which was the best stuff. Some of which was not that great. And some of which was, what is this crap, and why did I actually read through it? Look, just because I love Verne doesn't mean that everything he wrote was golden, okay? Because let me tell you, it was not. But then again, even Twain had a few things that didn't come out very well. It happens. I meant forever to read The Three Musketeers and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Oh, I did read Les Mis. That's French, right? That's definitely French. That's 1000% French. The way they talk about France in that book, yeah. The air of Paris, it's just so free that even the criminal orphans on the street just become mischievous and good-hearted, you know. Yeah. Les Mis is a tremendously good book. I can highly recommend it. Javert, it's just so many of the characters. You're basically reading The Adventures of Catholic Batman with Jean Valjean, but it's also, you know, from a different era, and you're gonna have to have patience with it. As he will decide to spend a chapter just talking about sewage. And what a terrible waste it is that we flush it into the sea. Anyway, on tournaments. Tournaments, or tourneys, are a favorite entertainment of the court and sometimes are an amusement for the common people far and wide, who come to watch lords of most noble birth joust. As if in the world itself such combat was rare. However, in the tourney, unlike in true battle, causing injury is forbidden, and thus weapons are blunted and arms modified as needed. Let me tell you, tourneys were not exactly safe. Jousting was not exactly a safe sport. They actually wore crazier armor during jousts than they'd wear on a battlefield. More elaborate and ridiculous helmets and things. Anyway. But sometimes, unfortunate deaths do transpire. Mounted knights armed with lances may vie with one another in attempts to dismount their opponent, or knights on foot armed in diverse manner may try to throw their opponent to the ground, and the defeated must surrender his weapon and can buy it back only in gold. The melee is a special type of hastelude, in which great teams of knights engage in combat that seems to resemble true battle, but the dealing of fatal blows is forbidden. In the Kingdom of Bohemia, the tournament was widespread during the reign of King Renchulus, when the hero Ogre from the German lands did come to his courts and bring with him this curious amusement, and alongside it great poverty to the whole land. For henceforth did lords travel in great numbers to compete in tourneys and spend great fortunes upon them, and no money remained for other purposes. Yeah, I'm sure that's how money works, exactly. You mean they gambled, and the losers wasted all their funds. Yeah. They took to adorning themselves and their steeds with colored cloth to pose before their opponents, and they did cross arms more in tournaments than in real combat. Well, I should hope that real combat was less common than tournaments. Today, elder men of noble birth do recall how the Czechs were once the greatest fighters in all the Holy Roman Empire. But when the tournaments arrived, their abilities they did squander, and today their displays on the true battlefield are of no merit. Forsooth, some fighters of particularly great renown are incapable of dealing a proper blow in real combat, so low have their combat skills sunk. Perhaps one day knights will become true men again and turn away from colorful tourneys and head to the battlefield, for the merriment of the tournament is certainly even an affront to God himself. There is some truth in this rambling. I know that this seems like nonsense. You're probably asking yourself, well, wouldn't a whole bunch of practice and tournaments make the fighters better on the battlefield? You'd think that, right? Oh, well, they're sparring more for tournaments, so they should be more effective, right? Not necessarily. Practice does not make perfect. That's a lie. Perfect practice makes perfect because you will do what you have trained yourself to do. So, if you have trained yourself not to deliver killing blows, if you've trained yourself to strike people in ways that won't really hurt them in actual combat, and then you get into actual combat, your body will do what you've trained it to do. So that you could actually be training yourself for the tournaments, doing tournament training, you could actually be training yourself to be less effective in real combat. And when it says fighters of particularly great renown are incapable of dealing a proper blow in real combat, that's what that sounds like to me. That sounds like you've been training yourself for tournaments and not for fighting. To give an example of the kind of things that happen, I'm going to pull out my favorite prop. Where's my sword? Hold on. Let me show you something that demonstrates what I mean. Okay. Have you ever heard of the flick attack? No, this is interesting, trust me. This is an epidemic in the world of fencing. We created very, very safe weapons that emulated real swords pretty much exactly. And you could strike people with them. You could strike deadly, deadly blows every time without actually hurting them. So that we could properly emulate sword fighting. So what do you think happened? People sought to game the system. So all I need to do is push this button to get a point, you say. All I have to do is push the button and I scored a kill. What if, instead of fighting and stabbing, what if I gripped my sword like a fishing pole and I flicked the flexible sword so that the tip would tap your shoulder, go around your parry, go around your blade, and just tap you? I don't want to bend it too far like that, but trust me, when you do, you can make it bend pretty freaking far and snap back because it's spring steel. I'm just trying not to abuse my blade too much, but you can bend it pretty freaking far if you know. That's the flick attack. There's different ways to do it, but that's the essence of it. Let me tell you, with a real sword, that wouldn't work. Even if you could make a real sword do that, you'd just be nicking their shoulder, and they would stab you to death with their sword. So, that's what it sounds like's going on with the of tourneys. They're learning moves that score points, and moves that would not cause fatal injuries because you don't want to hit them in the face really freaking hard or something. So, they're training themselves in ways that become less effective on a real battlefield. I can actually... So even though this book is written like really sanctimoniously, and the reader, a modern reader, should walk away thinking this guy's full of shit, he's just some high and mighty person, I think the person writing this might actually be correct. I do. Let's see. Splintered training... Oh, well, that sword I just showed you, fencers are aware. A broken sword can be very sharp and can straight up kill someone. if that blade ever snaps, it could be a very deadly weapon from the point that it snapped on. The practice swords, we actually put tape on the end. That one, because that's an actual for tournament use, and it's just got the button on the end. That one hurts a little bit more if you don't have a chest protector. I never did. Most people never did. Some people put little protectors over their nipples. Some people... I knew one lady who had a whole thing, like, for her whole chest. But yeah. Oh man, any day when you forgot your athletic cup and then you'd spar, you'd be so freaking cautious. You would be keenly aware that that's valid target and you don't have any armor today. Remember what I said earlier about people being very good at protecting their yes, men are very good at protecting their crotch. Actually. Better than you'd expect. They will parry faster and more enthusiastically to protect that than any other part of them. Let's see. Falling off the mount? Yeah, some people die falling off a mount. The underdesk foil. Well, you gotta keep one near to hand at all times. A bardic knight. Living from prize money and fame. Well, actually, that went on. Prize fighters were a thing. I don't know when prize fighters stopped. They were still around in the 1800s. Not only boxers, but also there were sharpshooters. Yeah, archers that made a living off of archery. That continued all the way up into sharpshooting contests. Annie Oakley married one of them, actually. She beat him in a shooting contest. Somebody who literally made a living going from town to town, out shooting everyone. And she beat him! And then they married. And I don't know any more details than that, but Annie Oakley is one of my favorite historical figures. The first-hand accounts of the stuff she did was crazy. Though it's important to remember, she was not a gunfighter. She was a performer. She may have, by first-hand accounts, been the greatest shot of her lifetime, of her lifetime. But she was always a performer first. Alright, let's see. The obedience of disciples. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This beseemeth those who, either through fear of hell or for the glory of life everlasting, count nothing more dear to them than Christ. These, presently, as soon as anything is commanded them by the superior, make no delay in doing it, just as if the command had come from God. The obedience will then be acceptable to God and pleasing to men. If what is commanded be not done fearfully, slowly, coldly, or with murmuring, or an answer showing unwillingness, because the obedience which is given to the superior is given to God, who hath said, He that heareth you heareth me. Hence it ought to be done by the disciples with a good will, because God loveth a cheerful giver. It is the disciple. It's the disciple. There's got to be an if, right? It just says it. It, the disciple. I'm going to say if. If the disciple obey with ill will and murmur not only in words but also in heart, although if he fulfill what is commanded him, it will not be acceptable to God, who considereth the heart of the murmurer. For such a work he shall not have any reward, but also incurreth the penalty of murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. Ah, right, Catholics, works of righteousness, yeah. When therefore anyone taketh upon himself the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold doctrine. That is, he ought first to show them all the virtue and sanctity more by deeds than by words. Hence, to such as are intelligent, he may declare the commandments of God by words, but to the hard-hearted, and to those of a ruder sort, he must make these precepts manifest by his actions and by his life. Therefore the abbot ought to teach, ordain, or command nothing but what is conformable to the commands of our Lord. But let his commands and doctrines be mingled in the minds of his disciples with the leaven of divine justice. Let there be no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let not one be loved or favored more than another, except he be found to surpass the rest in good works and in obedience. Therefore, let the abbot bear equal love to all, and let all be subject to the same orders and discipline, according to their deserts. With the more virtuous and intelligent, let him for the first or second time use words of admonition, but the stubborn and hard-hearted, the proud and the disobedient, even in the very beginning of their sin, let him chastise with stripes and bodily punishment, knowing that it is written, "The fool is not corrected with words." And again, strike thy son with the rod, and thou shalt deliver his soul from death. Congratulations! For the first time in the game, somebody is able to quote fragments of verses taken out of context. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, we're out of time. Alright. We're done here for now. We still have like one book left to read. Unless we find more. Ah! Buffalo Bill. Yeah. If I ever get a time machine, you know, I could check some of those things out maybe. I saved before I read the 2 books, and then I hit save and quit. So if I'm not saved, I'll, rage next time. No, we're thoroughly saved. Tomorrow should be raiding that camp. Exploring that camp. And, we'll see where it goes from there. Oh, man. Anyway, until next time and every time, this is Hadriex signing off. Bye.